Hello everybody, my name is Leo and with this video we will share a direct comparison between the Zoom G6 and the NUX MG 30. First of all, we will hear the two units in action with the demo song, then we will compare the features and technical characteristics of the two units with a very detailed comparison chart. Then we will hear more sounds, also comparing the two units versus a real tube amp, and finally, as usually, I will give you my 2 cents. So I hope you enjoy and please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, as it would really help me to make more videos like this. Let's start with the demo song. We will now compare the two units among the following parameters: number of amps, cabs and mics built-in, third-party IRs, number of effects and effect chain management in general, MIDI availability, input and outputs type and ports, foot switches and expression pedal, screen size and type, special features, looper and drum machine capabilities, ADA conversion and USB channels available, current, power, dimensions, weight and price. First of all, in the G6 we have 22 amps, 22 cabs and 2 mics, where you can change only the mix between the two mics, but not the distance or the position of the mics. On the other hand, in the MG30 we have 32 amps, 23 cabs with 3 IRs dedicated to acoustic guitar, 8 mics with 3 positions available. So here I would give the thumbs up to the MG30 as it has more amps, cabs and mics, and the possibility to use the mics in 3 different positions, which is more useful than being able only to change the mix between the two mics. As regards third-party IRs, we have 50 user slots in the G6 and 20 in the MG30. That, as far as I understood, is something changed with the last firmware upgrade. Then in the MG30 you can load IRs at 1024 sample points, and unfortunately this value is not known for the G6, even if I think we should be able to load IR at least at 1024 sample points. Therefore, thumbs up to the G6. Let's now talk about effects and effect chain management. In the G6 we have more than 135 effects arranged in 9 blocks, with one dedicated to the effect loop that you can arrange in any order but without parallel effects. In the MG30 we have 50 effects distributed in 11 blocks that you can put in whatever position you want. and with the possibility to have chorus, delay and reverb both in parallel and series. Therefore, thumbs up to the MG30, even if it has less effects, as for me it is more important to have a more flexible signal chain, even with the possibility to load parallel effects and with more effect blocks in total. They both lack MIDI ports. I'm sure that you have MIDI over USB with the MG30, as I have done a video about this topic using the Ampero control to send MIDI signal to the MG30 via USB, but I'm not sure if the G6 can be programmed via MIDI. If you know, please drop a message in the comment section below. As regards inputs and outputs, we basically have the same possibilities with a guitar input, a mono effect loop, unbalanced output and an aux in. The only difference is that the MG30 has a dedicated headphone out, where in the G6 you have to use the left out, but I think that it is such a minor difference that I would say that they are on par. As regards foot switches, the G6 has 6 foot switches, where the MG30 has 3 foot switches with more added with the external foot switch provided in the box. The screen of the G6 is bigger and it is touch sensitive, where the MG30 has a not touch sensitive screen. As regards special features, I would mention the Bluetooth available in the G6 buying an external card, and the scene management of the MG30, which is actually pretty useful in order to change preset without latency. The G6 offers longer loopers with also the possibility to insert an SD card with basically unlimited looping time. As regards ADA conversion, the G6 offers 20 bit at 44.1 kHz with the 2 channels USB audio interface over micro USB, where the MG30 offers a 4x4 USB channels audio interface over a USB Type-C connection with 32 bits at 48 kHz audio converters. Therefore, I would give the thumbs up to the MG30 both for its 4 USB channels that are pretty useful while recording and for its Type-C connectivity, where the micro USB of the G6 is pretty unhandy to be used, as for instance it is not reversible. The MG30 is less power hungry than the G6. As regards dimension and weight, the MG30 is smaller and lighter. And finally, as regards the price, the MG30 is cheaper. So finally, let's count the green and red thumbs. Suspense. We have 6 greens with 7 reds for the G6 and 8 greens with 5 reds for the MG30. Therefore, the MG30 is a tiny bit better. Obviously, this is just a technical comparison without considering that each feature could have a different importance for you. And so, for instance, you could prefer the G6 as it has more foot switches, or the MG30 for its compactness. But if you just algebraically sum the red and green thumbs, according to my comparison chart, the MG30 is a tiny bit better. Let's now hear some more sounds. Welcome in the more sound section of this video. We will now compare the modelers versus a real valve amp that is connected to a greenback speaker and with everything to none, where in both the modelers I have loaded their simulations of the real amp with the IR I made for the speaker I'm using with the real amp. We will be testing the frequency response, the dynamic range management and the note envelope of the real deal versus the modelers, playing few licks with the guitar. I have already recorded the DI tracks of the licks in my digital audio workstation, so we are sure that we are gonna send the same exact lick to the modelers and the real amp without introducing little human errors derived from the fact that it is impossible to play the same lick many times without little variations. I'm a human and not a robot, and therefore each time I play a lick I can introduce a little variation in the position of the pick or the force I apply, etc. So, human errors avoided here. These are the 5 licks I will be using. I will use the first 2 to match the frequency response. I mean, we will hear the amp and the modelers with everything set to none, and then I will tweak the modelers to sound as close as possible to the real amp using these 2 licks. Then With the third leak, we will test the dynamic response of the modelers. I mean, the way the modelers cleans up and break up according to the volume of your guitar or how soft or hard you push the strings. And with the fourth and fifth leak, we will check out the note envelope management of the modelers versus the real deal. I will let you now hear the tests and I will not say anything so that you can make your own idea without being influenced by mine. And we will discuss the results later on in the My 2 cents section of this video. Let's start! Final considerations here, and please notice that these are gonna be my personal opinions for my specific use cases, and of course you may not agree with me, and this is totally fine. Let me start from the stronger selling points in my opinion of each unit. Home recording. Here I would say that the MG30 is better, as for instance it offers USB Type-C connectivity instead of micro USB, which is a pain, and especially because the MG30 has 4 USB channels instead of 2. With 4 USB channels you get more routing options and possibilities while recording your guitar. Like for instance the possibility to record the die-high track of your guitar in one track and the stereo effects in other 2 tracks. Live use. Here the G6 is superior with its 6 foot switches instead of the 3 plus 2 of the MG30. Easiness of use. Here honestly I find the MG30 easiest, both in terms of the physical controllers and the computer app. The G6 has a touchscreen, but as I said in my demo review of the G6, I found the way the menus are implemented and the way you browse the functionalities pretty cumbersome, even without fully using the touchscreen. Amp sound. Here I found the MG30 more gainy than the G6, and with both the units I had to increase especially the highs and the presence. But overall they are both doing a good job in terms of recreation of the JCM 800 sound. Here I would encourage you to check out the list of amps available in both the units to be sure that you have what you are looking for, especially in the G6 where the amps available are only 22. Effects. Well, as regards effects I would prefer the MG30. It has less effects, but you have more effects blocks and the signal chain is more flexible. For instance, offering also parallel effects. And I prefer to have a more customizable effect chain than having dozens of effects that I will probably never use. So overall, in my opinion, the stronger selling point of the G6 is that it offers more foot switches, where the ones of the MG30 are the FX chain management, the compactness and the recording possibilities. All in all, I would say that the value for money of the MG30 is higher compared to the G6, and that for the G6 is hard to justify a higher price point. This is obviously my point of view, and I would like to know your opinions and which one of the 2 units you would choose in your use case, and also if the sound differences that you can check out in the demo song or in the more sound section of this video are key deciding factors for you. So please let me know in the comment section below. These were my final 2 cents. We have now reached the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did it, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell and leave a thumbs up. It would be of a great help. If you're interested in my IRs or in my camper profiles, you can check out the link in the card above or description below, where there is also a link to a playlist of songs of mine. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.